Okay, so this is my version of changing the Chimaera wing mirror. Yeah, let's get on with it. Alright, let's see the problem. It's the tripod Toadstool that's broken, snapped, usually caused by, you know, people closing the wing mirrors to get it in the garage. Anyway, let's make a start on dismantling. First thing you've got to do is get the mirror out. So I've actually got this loosened off already. I did this by using a hairdryer or a heat gun. It's fixed on with double-sided tape. Some of them have a little lever somewhere in here. I guess an older version that's been updated. But this is glued on with tape, and I needed to soften the glue before I could get it off without breaking the mirror. Didn't use any tools to prise it, just my finger to gently pull it off without breaking it. So this is what you get once the mirror's out. There's the heated mirror connections. Next thing you've got to do is take these 3 screws out. Right, it's a T9 Torx for that. Once those out, this removes when you've undone all the screws properly. That one's out, that one's not out. And just stop any body scratching with something down there. So here you can see the connecting wire for the mirror adjustment. Need to pull that out. Done. That's now free. So now we have to split the mirror here. And there are 3 screws, one there, and one there. So that's the mirror off. Comes through there, off. And what we're left with is this cover here. This is the bottom of the spigot, which is bonded into the body, I would imagine, at the factory. So this has to come off. Here you'll see a recess. I've loosened this already, but all I did was to get in a screwdriver into that notch there and just gently tap it around, and eventually it came loose. If you can't get yours loose, well, you're fucked. And now we come to the first problem. You can get the heated mirror wires back through here, but you've got the 3-pin connector here, which has to go through that small hole there. So there are two ways to do that. One, you can just snip the connector off, or two, get a pair of pliers, squeeze it together and push it through the hole like I'm going to do. Either way, this connector is going to get damaged. And those are the two heated mirror wires. They come through pretty easy. But with this connector, all I can do is squeeze it together a little bit and push it down through the hole. Like I said, it's going to get damaged, so you can cut it off if you prefer to do it that way and find another connector when you come to reassemble. We'll push through. So that's the old Toadstool out. There's just the weather seal to come off the bottom of the Toadstool. And you can see here the grub screw which holds this piece. This has to come out. To release this boss which goes into there. Fortunately on this one someone's drilled a locating hole on there, so that's the position for the grub screw. You'll understand what I'm talking about when you come to reassemble yours, because there is no way to get at this grub screw and know which position to put it in. But I might get lucky and be able to locate it into the pre-drilled recess, and the mirror might just be in the right place. Fingers crossed. Next thing to do is take the broken part of the tripod off the wing mirror body, which is held on by that screw, this plate, and then here there is a rubber bush which I presume dampens the vibration down between the body and the mirror. So that's pretty easy to dismantle, well, when you get the right piece. T30 Torx takes that off. The rubber bush comes out there, and there is the other half of the tripod. So that's the easy part, dismantling. So, reassembly. I've got the new Toadstool tripod, whatever you want to call it, attached to the wing mirror via the screw, plate, and the anti-vibration bush. After much head scratching, it can only be that the whole assembly, which would have included the spigot, the male boss and the female boss, which is bonded into the door, must have been put together off the car and then put in and glassed over when the mirror was in the right position. I can't see any other way that they could have done it. because when this is assembled, this goes on over here and you can't get at the grub screw to adjust the mirror, which is the only adjustment you've got. I've heard on some of the forums people taking off the door trim, drilling down through the glass fibre shell, door shell, to get at the grub screw in order to make the final adjustment, or if your wing mirror's just come loose and been flopping around. But because of this and because of the recess here, you can't get an Allen key into the grub screw. So the only way to put the thing back on is to reassemble everything and screw it directly into the female boss with that assembled in the right place. And as I've said on here, I've got the recess already pre-drilled, which at least gives me a chance of getting the wing mirror in the right place when this thread tightens up onto the female thread that's already bonded into the door. So let's have a go at it. So the first thing to do is attach the tripod to the wing mirror frame. That's done. Then the male boss has to fit in, get the recess lined up to the grub screw. T3 T3 hexagon. And that's in place. So the wires now have to go through the boss, come out of the spigot and go into the back of the mirror, along with the electrical connector for the motor adjustment. So again, got to push this through. But if you're watching this because you've been struggling how to work out how to do this, you'll understand what a bloody crappy system this is. This is probably where I jabbed myself in the fingers with the screwdriver. Gotcha. Now I have to work out which part of the tripod this comes through. I seem to remember it's the widest recess on the three legs. Put the two wires for the heated mirror through. If you can see that. If you can't, it's pretty bloody obvious. Plenty of wire comes out the door to work with. It's like everything TVR, you just got to bloody fiddle with it until you sort it out. Try not to scratch anything. give yourself plenty of spare wire. And this, I think, goes back down through here. And I'm going to kick myself in the freaking ghoulies in a moment because I forgot to put the trim bit on. TVRs, which goes on that way, goes into the recess. Well, it ain't going to go in, is it? Because they've got the bloody wire, so I've got to take that off again. Son of a bitch, TVR motherfuckers from Blackpool. Okay, so we're ready to reassemble. Now, the first thing you've got to do is take the mirror, the back of the mirror, and put the trim on it. Trim goes in there like that. Mirror goes on here. So put that in first. Then we've got to put the screw and screw the tripod into the base of the mirror. Vibration rubber goes in, it goes on top. All a little bit fiddly as usual. Now this is important. Take the back of the mirror, the cover, and put the tripod in there first. Not forgetting to put the trim in first, then the tripod, which is all falling apart. And assemble these 4 components into the mirror base. And if you can see this, I can't really film it and assemble it at the same time, but this all goes in together. So I'm just going to do this because I can't film it. I need both hands. Trim, assemble to the back of the mirror. the male boss. Once you've got the screw located into the tripod, locating the recess here with the screw. For the back of the mirror, the tripod with the door trim already assembled over the tripod, and attach it to the wing mirror base. T30 Torx. Hexagon. Hexagon, which is, I'll list it at the end. Take the male boss, align the grub screw with your drilled recess and assemble. Take the wires, put them through the assembly. This is a bit fiddly. I'll either speed up the video or I'll just jump cut it to when I've got the wires coming through the base. What I should have pointed out is that the wires, when they go down the spigot, they have to come out at the widest part of the tripod of the three legs. So like I said, this is really fiddly now because of this trim which prevents you from getting at anything. But if you don't put this trim on first, then it's just not going to go together, and this is what causes all of the problems. Some people have to take off, depending on the car, the door trim to get at the door skin and drill down to get at this grub screw to tighten it up in the right position. I'm hoping we don't have to do that. So we've got that through the tripod. Now it needs to go down into the body. So you've got the wires starting to come through. They don't want to come through, but they've got to come through. You need to pull plenty of wire through to give yourself room to work. I don't know if you can see in here, there's just a cutout there. The wire locates into that and comes up here, ready for connection. We now screw the back and the base of the mirror together. The little click as it all went back together, and there were 3 screws, 1, 2, and the third one down in the hole there, and they're Phillips heads. Okay, so now we can put the mirror back onto the body of the car, and we can reassemble the motor assembly when that's on. So to do this, put a few reverse twists on the wire. And start the thread. And here's the most annoying part of the whole job. I can't find any other way to put this mirror back on unless it's fully assembled. However, for it to turn, for the male part of the boss turn into the female, the quarter light gets in the way. It's a long way to come to find that out, but I kind of knew that that was going to happen, so I'm going to have to take the door trim off to get at the screw that holds the quarter light, just to move this out of the way. So I'll switch off the camera there and come back in a minute. Now you insert the wires in. Next, put the connecting block through the section of the boss. If you can see that. We've already damaged it, but it's going back in somehow. It takes a lot of force, but it does go. Then take the wires for the heated mirror and put those through. It's all very fiddly. You have to get the wires to come underneath in here. We have to get the wires to come through underneath in here. I'm just going to fiddle around for a bit until I get that done. Leaving the back section of the mirror loose just helps to get hold of the wires and pull them through.
It's really fiddly. I can't get in and show you this on camera. It's just, you know, the usual thing. Fiddle around until you get it. They should go through the widest opening on the tripod. As usual, the TVR, nothing wants to go easily. That just took me 20 minutes to get that through. Now you can see where the wires, there's a little notch there in the mirror frame just here, so you locate the wires up into that. Then proceed to try and get the back of the frame onto the rain cover. So if you leave the back section of the mirror loosed, you can then just screw the whole mirror on. You can just screw the whole mirror on and find the notch, give it a little tap with the screwdriver just to tighten it up onto the thread, and then reassemble the back and replace the mirror, and that's it. Be honest, there is a bit of guesswork. If you haven't got the tripod screwed onto the boss in just the right place and held in with the grub screw, then the mirror's going to not be in the right place when you screw it all in. Can't help you with that. It's just TVR, isn't it? You know. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope this helped a little bit. I've really only made this because the last time I did this was a while ago and I've forgotten how to do it. But I put it up on YouTube just in case it helps somebody else. See you again.